How cool is that one, born to barbecue?
Wow, that's probably the best vantage point, that angle. Look at the valley. Oh, that's actually grouse. Woo! Well, we get that far. You can camp up here. I found a summit marker. The old summit marker. Look at this spot. This is where I should have had lunch. Good morning, people. Today we are out of the west of Main Range, past Cunninghams Gap, and we are at Bestbrook. It is a cabin and farm stay, and we've got access to get up to Taylorspeak today, which is up the back of that. The sun is blocking it. Now, I didn't even realise, but there is a little sign here saying Maiden Hair Falls Walk. So, I didn't know about that one. Let's have a look. This is Gap Creek down here, so I don't know how big and crazy it's going to be because it looks like it's fairly flat here. But hey, I'll check out a waterfall. I'm not even sure exactly where I'm walking. It just has an arrow that way. I'm assuming we're going to get on the creek level. Let's have a look. Come and stay out here, guys. Looks like a beautiful area. Nice wide open spaces to camp. Nice river that's still flowing, or this creek. Can't really see where this waterfall's meant to be. This waterfall, it says koala walk too. I don't really have to cross here because it looks like we're pretty running out of track. There's a blackberry bush here. I didn't expect that. I guess being close to the cooler Main Range. I don't know where this waterfall is. I think we need to cross. We'll cross and follow the creek around, cut the other side. I feel like I'm on a wild goose chase because this creek is so flat. I can't see how there's a waterfall. It's probably just going to be a small little cascade rapid thing, but still, can't even see anything that looks like that. Yeah, I just spoke to some campers. They said we don't know nothing about a waterfall. They've been here 5 times. And the fence is pretty much up there anyway, so yeah, I can't see what they're talking about. Anyway, on with the agenda. Alright, so we drove much closer. This track's starting to get a bit rougher. Now, you did say it's 4-wheel drive track, so you probably could drive probably most of the way, if not maybe all the way. But we're not going to try that. And I don't really know how good condition the track is anyway, regardless, even if you had a 4-wheel drive. She's got some tracks in here, but yeah, we made the right decision to park there. Alright, so we went at 7 Ks. That extends beyond where the track's supposed to end, and we'll be on to the off-track part, trying to get to the actual summit. So, and then we're going to cross the saddle to the actual, another bit of the summit where it's actually got the name on Q-Topo, so we'll see. The side tracks are pretty fresh, so people must get up here fairly regularly. So there are bulls over in the paddock back down there. There's bullshit up here too, so they obviously wander everywhere here. One had big horns too, so be careful of that. So we've got a beautiful blue sky, winter's day. It's probably 15 degrees. This is going to be steep and rugged, this track, but it does wind around the easiest way it can to get a car up, so hopefully slightly gradual for us. Still going to be relentless, but yeah, she's got bogged out a bit here. Alright, see you up somewhere. We got arrows here in case you get lost, even though it's very obvious there's only one track. Here are a few bellbirds. It's cool. So this used to be on all trails, but I believe it's now taken down. Don't know why. Probably because you got to ask permission to do it, but for whatever reason, didn't still leave it up on the app. There's got a sign here saying Gnomes Gully, and there's an arrow going that way to the right. With a bit of a track, so maybe I meant to walk that way, I don't know. Look, that track's not on my map, but this four-wheel drive track is. So I'm going to stick with the four-wheel drive track. Maybe if we figure out that joins back up somewhere up here, there might just be a shorter, steeper shortcut. Look, maybe we'll go down that way for a return variation, but I don't think it's going to vary that much really in this track. So anyway, let's get going. A few horse prints. Wow, that goes to a cave actually, apparently. Well, that's cool. I didn't remember to do that all the way back. This track's turned to weirdness here. It's going down and around where it's supposed to be going still up, but. So maybe that track just ends at the cave. Don't know. Do the summit first. There's a kangaroo hopping about. This track seems to join another track. I think this is the shortcut. Yeah, right. I did see this track when we were coming in. But you know what? I'm glad we didn't take it, because then we wouldn't have figured out the gnome cave. Because we would have come up here, gone to the summit, come back and thought nothing of that, because that barely even looks like a track. So got to remember to turn in there for this cave. A little track here with an arrow. That might be the cave, little dog leg, if that's the case. Yeah, it says there cave. We can go that way back actually. Right, onwards to Lookout. It's definitely a reasonable four-wheel drive track. I mean, I almost could make this up in my car. That's crazy. Another Lookout sign in case you don't know how to follow the track. It's not too bad. It's not like hectic. It's steep, but it's not annoying. So really it's a good gradient. Just worried to see how the top's going to be, if we can get to the true summit or not. Getting a partial view already. There's a few more peaks on the other side with names. A little private property to get into them, which is damn annoying. Now this is where the sign's needed, because there's a bit of a weird track to the right. I don't know what that is, why that goes around, but yeah. So we're nearly at it. Just plateauing a little bit. Yeah, we are. So that might continue the actual to the summit. Let's go over here then first. Have morning tea. It didn't take too long at all. Probably not even an hour. Less, like 45 minutes. And that was probably, yeah, put the fuck around with the creek. Oh well, you can drive here, people. The next part of the hike, I don't know if we can do it. If the track exists to go further. You know, a bit of red hot crack. It's pretty nice. Just want to have a look at this corner. It's a turnaround obviously, but I don't know if that's keep going. This might be the way up the summit here. Yeah. That's where they want you to turn back. Alright, we'll look at that in a minute. Which is the best way. That's worth a little hike. I mean, yeah, you can drive it, but what else are you gonna do? I just drove nearly 3 hours to get here. So we're just driving up and going back, is it? I do have a waterfall up the road I'm gonna suss out. Grouse, see the Cunningham Highway. I'm gonna have to cut these trees soon. They're gonna grow the view out. Surprised there's even a view spot here. It is already starting to get shrouded. There you go, people. Right, so checking the map, we're only halfway up the mountain. So this is their viewpoint. The track is marked on the map for a bit further, and then it stops short of the actual peak, which makes no sense, but yeah, we're gonna give it a crack anyway. So across from us over here, by the way, we're at 755 metres above sea level. I believe Taylorspeak is about 900. Yep, it's over 950. I think you start at like 250 when you're down on the ground there, so you're not fully at sea level, obviously. So across the highway we have the Pinnacle, it's called. And yeah, there's Mt Cordeaux, but it's way over there. I don't think we can see it. The Pinnacle, I don't know which one it's going to be. Nothing looks really pinnacly. But if I line up my arrow, it's supposed to be somewhere just there, but I don't know. Anyway, food time. So the track only goes for about another K, and then it's about another K to get up on top nearly, but it's just because it winds. We'll see if it just full ends. If it ends to full shit, well, probably give it up. But looking at how clear this is here, there's no lantana. I reckon we're going to push on off track. I think it could work. It looks manageable. We'll just have to see. The original and the best. Not even one cloud, people. Planned this really well. Little flagging thing that I don't know why. So the track's supposed to double back on itself to go up and around, so I don't know what this left is. If this is a shortcut or what. Seems like that's going up higher. The track's a little weird with my map. I'm going off track to kind of cut to what I think is supposed to make sense for the track here. I don't know. We'll see if it's up here or not. No, that works. I don't know how I kind of went the wrong bit there, but anyway. It was a real double back on the map, which is weird. It's weird we've got to go down a little bit here to go up again. I don't get that, but that's what it says. Okay, we're getting to this part of the track now where the track's supposed to be going up, but I'm not seeing it. And it looks like a good spur, so we could just walk that. This track seems to be going down and around. Whether it goes up again, I don't know, but on the map it seems to be, we'll be going off it. There's a gamble right here, so there is a fence there, so that's probably what they said the boundary is. Someone else's. Look, we'll go down just a little bit. If it doesn't seem to be going back up, I'm going to regret. We can just go there, because now we're going to be redoing this hill. It's very strange. Nah, we seem to be going down. I don't know where this track would go, but as it just loops down, 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 it doesn't line up with the map exactly. That's the problem. Seems to just be going down. Nah, we'll take the spur. We're off track now. Don't look too bad, so fun times. Even though the track's supposed to be going up, where the spur is, it's just not existent. There's a faint track here. A little bit of fence, I reckon, just signifies, well, it doesn't have a sign, but there's only 3 bits of fence and it stops. Maybe it signifies this is to where the track is, but I don't know if people to do it anymore. Unload bush of lantana, let's hope that. No, there's more there. Hopefully we've got enough clear to get around it, so we're curving up this way to get up the spur. This track is kind of fizzled. Just kind of choose your own adventure now. Definitely can cut back on a slightly better angle straight off the end of that spur there. We've come up here, that's the more natural way to look out. So that's pretty much it. Can't see exactly, but straight up. It's fairly going to be steep, but it's only about okay, so let's just push on. All right, the spur becomes slightly more discernible. Rolls off on the side, so it's easier. And we're in a little bit of shade here. It's on the almost whatever southeastern side, so that's pretty good. We're already getting a better view to the south or whatever that is. Almost west. That's pretty cool. So we were looking that way before, so now we've got this opening. Let's see if it gets any better at the top. There's a tiny little flat bit for this last final push up. Rugged. There's still a bit of a faint track, could be animals, who knows. Right, so you push up to here, another awesome view. So you think you're almost rolling onto the top, but you're not. Still got a bit more to go. Deceiving. Oh well, up the spur we continue. Alright, there's the final push. Not too bad. Doesn't look too bad at all. Definitely hot now. I don't want to do this in summer. Jeez. I'll die. Alright, we made it. Taylorspeak. Boom. So we're at 980 metres right now. So as you come up the last bit of the spur, it wasn't bad overall. Look, the tip is full drive to the lookout and just walk the last bit, make it half the journey. But if you want the full experience, walk the whole thing. Okay, so look, we're up on the top now. There's a view rolling off the other side now. There's also a fence running straight through the middle, which is quite common. People own half the side of fucking hills. So, Topo's summit is to the left. We're gonna go there at the end, and that'll be hopefully a better vantage point. You never know. If not, the rollover view we had on the way up is a better viewpoint, but still had to get here anyway. This big fence post can be the summit marker nearly. I'm gonna go a little bit this way just because one, guy's got the summit marked technically just a little bit up here, not far. And there's a bit of a longer bit of the plateau and then it starts to roll off slowly. And I'm just wondering we might get a view if we creep towards that edge. It's not a steep roll off, but maybe have a look while we're up here. Because all in all, that didn't take too long. I left home at 7, didn't get here before 9:45, and now it's 11:45. So it's taken 2 hours to get up here. It seemed faster. And then again, I did have like a 15-minute break and a 15-minute probably fucking around trying to find that waterfall. So yeah, say an hour and a half. Probably get down in an hour, that's my guess. I wonder if there's a view if we jump over this fence. Might be, if there's another fence running that way. Which is weird. Might just be shrouded in all the way, but we'll go a bit further. I'd almost assume this fence was accessed by, there's meant to be a gate here, look at that. Don't know. I was going to say, I feel like the road was built from the other end. Well, not road, but probably was a road at one point. But to get the fence up here, he wouldn't have walked up that spur, trust me. Not with all the fencing wire and shit. So he probably drove up the other end and just drove all the way along is my guess. Jump over this bit here, go through the gate. Fucking get over the rickety shit. But I've gone through the fence. Alright, so starting to push down a little bit. Could almost turn back here, but we'll just go a little bit more. Can't really see, there's no real rock on the satellites. You're not really going to get a vantage point. We're just hoping for a gap in the trees. Really to go. It's quite narrow in this section, which is kind of cool. I hope the other end is to get to yield something nice. So yeah. They could make the track all the way up here, cut a few trees up here, make the lookout up here, that'd be amazing. It'd be great if we got a more of a western view, or this side, because you can't see that from their lookout, so at least then you get more vantage points. There's cut a few trees along this top. This looks a little more promising. Raised up a little bit out of the saddle here and might be lucky with maybe. Well, you don't end up jumping over the fence, and up this end is better anyway because we're on the better narrow side. I'd say we should get a rollover point with the view there. Let's wish for that. Got more windows happening here. Wow, that's awesome. Well, jump back over eventually because I had to. Because two things. One, I think we're going to get a view this way, and two, I found a summit marker. The old summit marker. The reason why I think it is because there's one on Mount Gannon that's made of that same pole that's way shorter. And it seems like obvious. However, it's not the one, like I said, Q-Top has marked it up the other end. So we're still going to go that way. But look, we've got a viewpoint through here in the west now. And yeah, little patches of window, we'll get more photos of that in a second, but let's go look at this. Looks like you go a few more meters further, but I don't think you're going to get better than this opening. It's so worth it. I wonder how many people have been here, like hiked up and actually gone to look for more views. Because that is sick. Real faint track here, but there was some wallaby crap all the way up here, so holy hell, that's amazing. Yeah. That is crazy. Look, I've gone, what, 15 meters from the fence, right? And once you're on this little bit here, I can't hear the highway anymore. That is bizarre. When you're just there, the highway sounds so loud. Somehow, I don't even know how that makes sense. We barely got anything to block us, but there's a little bit of the slide downhill and it's quiet. It's like we're in a whole different place. That just blows my mind. I can't believe that. You have to come in to experience it for yourself to understand. I know it seems very hard to believe, but it's true. Wow. So I don't know if we're going to get as good a view up the other end, but we're still going to try. A few more grass trees down in there. That's cool. I haven't seen a lot of them. Very steep now what we're on. So you can follow this ridge for way further, but there's no more like named peaks really, so there's no point to continue. Otherwise I'd try and tick off another one if there was one. Wow. All right, let's do a little scout just there and then we'll start heading back to get the other end. I don't know what the deal with these are, but not paint cans and fucking dumped here. Stillies. Classic wallabies. Haven't seen any up here on the top yet. Probably can't fit and get some cool breezes, they like that. We're just going to go a little bit further. There's another good viewpoint there. It's kind of the same as what we just had, but it's grouse. So looking that way, by the way, you got Mount Devlin, which is that, probably that main range, I reckon. And basically back in main range, bending around. Pretty cool up here, like this ridgeline's nice to walk on now. Once you get here, like Spur's the friggin' calf burner, but there is another whole very close unknown summit before you climb down. I don't know if that's worth exploring. I don't think you're going to get a view, but it'd be interesting if you did. Not far. You can camp up here, eh? A little tent, almost flat for that. Wow. So shout out in the comments if you've been up here, guys. Shout out in the comments if I've inspired you to want to come here. Well, this is where I was going to turn back, so yeah, maybe we screwed the last extra knoll. The one that's down this way anyway, that wasn't really the plan. There's no real view. I thought I might have rolled off, we might have got an opening there. We just got windows through here. That's pretty decent. Wow, that's probably the best vantage point, that angle. Look at the valley. Oh, that's actually grouse. Woo! So I'm guessing that's spices and double top. Let me double check that information. No, I'm a bit off. So that's Mitchell with the double, because it's Mitchell North and East to West, whatever it is. Then you've got Cunningham's Gap, and then Spices is that one there. Double top you can't see, it's probably over the back there. You can't see Cordeaux. Yeah, obviously that's the whole gap. That's grouse. And it's a very, 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 very far distance. I can't see what that is. Looks like a saddle. What would that be? It's one called the Twins. I wonder if that's what it is. Way. Alright, let's keep moving along. Some rope tied around the summer pole I just found hidden in the grass. Alright. I just had lunch then. I just decided that'll do because I found a log ready near the summit to sit on. Let's go up the other end, try and hopefully find a view and find the dew topo summit. And back down. Alright, so I've come back along past where we first come up the spur. Stayed on this side of the fence. Now the fence is going down, so we're going to jump back in, head that way to find this other end. Now we've got much further to go up this end than where we just went up to the right then. So yeah, we're going down and up one more knoll, which is what they're calling it. So we'll see. Hope it's worth it. Well, there's bullshit up here, so I can get up here somewhere. Can't be that hard to walk. We've just got to curve around. It's going to be somewhere around there is the end. 15 minutes is my guess. So yeah, there must be an easy way for them, and they probably come from, like I said, I reckon it's the far end behind me. Just be vigilant on your map because this ridge is quite wide and it looks like maybe you'd go that way too. But this is the angle I want, so you can see it looks obvious, but at the same time that looked a little bit obvious too. So unless you know which angle you're pointing at, could end up going, start going the wrong way. Got a little vantage point popping through the right there as it rolls off. The highway's gone quiet because again we've, I don't know, just pushed over kind of far enough to not see it or hear it. And another sick window to the right. That's awesome. Wow, this is really cool. Look at this spot. This is where I should have had lunch. I always find dope lunch spots after lunch. Nothing to sit on, but damn, that's nice and wide. Probably better, better than the other one for rest and view. That's awesome. We've turned a bit of the spur into this lower bit of the, let's call it the saddle. And we're gonna go to the end of this, so. Wow, you've got this closer little ridge line. It's apparently got no name. This is really nice to walk this part now, actually. This is sick. I'm glad I added this on. Most people would probably just maybe hit that first bit of the, where you hit the ridge where I first found the fence. You probably thought, oh well, no views, let's go back. They probably wouldn't have searched for this end, and they probably wouldn't have searched for the unknown marker pole. So yeah, this is grouse. Oh, this is awesome. The views are just continuing here. This is so worth it. This would be a sick camp spot right here. We've got the view for the tent. It was amazing. Don't camp here, it's someone's property, but I don't think he comes up here very often, put it that way. Old bit of the fence here, broken off the wire. Wow. Almost like a squashed in little narrow razorback. It's as narrow as it's been so far. Views just keep coming and coming. This is so good. I wanted a western view too and I friggin' got it. Keep going. Still not at the actual end yet. Oh, that's so good. Look at that. We've got a better angle that way now. That is so good. In hindsight, yeah, it's still worth going the other end because you can see Cunninghams Gap. Whether or not we see that again from down here is the question. Alright, so now we got a final little saddle before we actually go back up the last bit of the hole. That was like a mini saddle back in there. Now this is the true one. It's going to be a bit, it's not too steep to come back up, but yeah. No cattle up here, you're not seeing what's eating and shitting up here. Look at this. Even a little bit rocky now. It's almost getting razorbacky. Hey, It's so thin, it's cool. This has definitely been getting better and better, this hike. Probably saved the best for last. This is why I kind of thought to go this way at the end. Because the end kind of rolls off, so I can't see the cattle getting up from this other end. It's definitely a trackie, like, cattle walk it. Kind of bizarre. Maybe they're trying to find their way down again, I don't know. Just wanted to point out, pretty sure that triangle peak is Mount Devlin, the closer one there. Right, we're nearly at the end, another 200 metres. Have to get a dope southern lookout. I don't know if you can see that very well, it's coiled up fucking barbed wire. It's almost like there's a trap. Be careful of that. Yeah, look at that. More barbed wire there. That was just broken off and laying there. It's pretty weird. Alright, the final little ascent to our end goal. I'm so glad that yeah, I'm still glad. I was going to say, I'm glad I checked Q Topo because I wouldn't have expected it to be marked differently to Gaia. But it wasn't. Pretty sure this is going to be worth it because we've got good views along the way anyway. Even if this very end isn't as good. So that's pretty cool. You can see where we just come from. Pretty much. I think we were there. Maybe that was the further one. We definitely would have been there. We've come up. No, I reckon we did go up that. Straight up that, along and around, boom. Cool. Big pear cactus living his best life. Well, all in all, it's been pretty clear up here. Cattle probably done a good job to keep it clear for us, which is great. Probably whatever original bush has been cleared with the grazing. So even though things have grown back a bit, but yeah, really there. Wonder if we're going to find another summit marking. Now, the lady from the Bestbrook, she told me that she believed there was what they call Mount Taylor, and on the maps it's called Taylorspeak. It sounded like they would potentially two different things. Whether they call that first hill Mount Taylor, maybe this is Taylorspeak in the end, who knows. Either way, doesn't matter. This is sick. Almost getting Cunningham view again. It's just wrapped around a bit there. Back to the highway noise. Not quite at the end. A little bit more to go. We've definitely done all the hard stuff, that's for sure. Going down's gonna be a breeze. Hopefully the cave looks pretty big. I saw a photo on the website. So that'd be a good stop off on the end. We got it, southern view. That is sick. There's the rest of the Cunningham Highway. Wow. That was awesome. So worth going up both ends. Stoked. And no, we can't get a real good Cunningham view, so it's worth going up the other bit. That is sick. It's a little bit shrouded with trees, but we can still get a window here. It's pretty decent. I'm pretty happy. This could have been worse. Not too scratchy along the way, which has been alright. Let's get around this part here. Wow, bit of a rock outcrop little thing there. Whoa, there's a hole there. It's cool. I don't know what that mountain is over there. Montana's a bit scratchy. Let's get up on here. There we go. We've done it. The tree's blocking it again. It's better there. Oh well, happy days. Boom. Come and do it, people. Just make sure you ask them before you come in. Although, if you're camping here, I'm pretty sure they don't care. If people just wander off, you wouldn't have to ask if you're camping, but yeah, just come and stay here. Sure, got really nice amenities. Alright, back we go, cave style. Well, we're actually 100 metres lower than the other summit over there, so this is weird that Q Topo's marked this. So yeah, it makes sense. The other one would be the peak, because it's 964 and this is 864. So anyway, this is what it is. I'm not sure what that bigger mountain is because it's marked on, if I'm looking at the right one, it's marked on Gaia with the peak symbol but no name. Okay, so we spent a bit of time to go along the top here, probably about an hour. Tommy ate and fucked around. It's now 1:30, so I reckon I should be down by 2:30. We'll see if I'm right. Alright, so coming back down, you get to this part where you first come up and I said, oh, you think you're rolling to the summit and you're not. This part looks way steeper coming back down than it did coming up. But thank God we're going down it because less energy exertion. Wowee. Alright, so we're heading back down. We're now pretty much near the first bit where we went off track. But we're cutting on a different angle this time. A little bit straight down the spur, which I think is a shortcut. We should hit the track there instead of where we went down over that side. We're going to look out in a minute. And then down to the cave, and then I've got another, yeah, got this waterfall lined up now with the owner to do after this, so happy days. So look out for Glen Eden Farm Waterfalls video. Alright, let's get down. It's not too bad overall. We're down, back on the track, booyah. Straight down there. That's definitely, just go that way, it's easier. Take the spur when you see it. Alrighty, down. So that took, what was it, 1:30 when we left? Took 40 minutes. So, booted it. That left track that we saw that was veering away that we didn't follow, it seems to be pushing in a muddy, dark corner there. And looking at that whole gully, it looks like maybe it has a waterfall hidden in there. Definitely has enough elevation drop off the side of that hill, but as we saw, it's pretty dry up there. Plus, second of all, yeah, it's marked as a creek on Google, but I don't think it's flowing. And thirdly, I don't know where that track goes. And thirdly, if it was some sort of notable waterfall, you'd think they would advertise it, but maybe they keep it hidden. I don't know. I'm not going to walk over there to look for a dry trib right now, so this ground says everything. Okay, back to lookout. Yep, no, the peak obviously is much better experience than just going to this first lookout, but that's just the way it is. Not everyone's got extracurricular expertise. I did Mount Macha in Main Range, I think last week, and they have a lookout half up the hill from the campground that they signpost, which is very similar to this. And then yeah, the last part's a thin off track razorback, and there is a 5 trail that goes up your loop, but that's technically a bit easier than what that was, because at least you could have more of a track going up. I wouldn't want to drive this up here in the rainy summer. So it's 1.5 k's from the lookout to get down to where the car is, basically. So obviously if you drove up here, you'd save 3 k's return out of the 7 or whatever it was, so happy days. But make sure you check out this cave, that's where we go. What a cracker of a day, people. So good. I don't know why people do peaks on cloudy days, they're freaking crazy. Just save it. Go do something else. Play chess with grandma, I don't know. When I arrived, I spoke to one of the workers and I mentioned I was going up the back of the hill, and he goes, oh, I haven't even been up there. It's like, he's probably worked here 20 years. Blows my mind. Are you not a little bit curious? Just do the tough hike once. Oh well, people don't care. Okay, not this corner, probably the next corner is the one to go into the cave. Now it's called Gnome Cave because apparently they put lots of garden gnomes in here, so that's going to be different. Right, so the little track crosses a dry gully, so like I said, if that other gully was even there, it's probably going to look like that. Maybe a slab of rock about a waterfall. Nice and shady in this side now because Sun's full gone to the west, obviously, and we're on the eastern side. So beautiful. Wow, we've got ferns in here. It's the maidenwell fern. This creek might even flow over the cave. Could be a dry cave. Waterfall, let's figure it out. Really there at the creek. I think I can see it. It's the only place you're going to find rock. Yep, there's definitely a hole in the side of the creek. There we go. Down via mountain track. Two of the gnomes are already here. Hello. So we'll turn. Yep, no water. This is fun for the kids. Look at them in there, so many. These guys are crazy. They're going to buy a friggin' $100 worth of gnomes. Hey, dry waterfall. There is a top tier. And the gnomes are in there. That's pretty cool. A few broken ones. It's a bit of a track down and it just ends. Well, okay. We'll find a way to climb up it, straight up the face of the waterfall. 2 for 1, I love it. Cave in a waterfall, even though it's dry. It mustn't flow very much because it'll wash those gnomes away. Someone's laid them out, maybe over there recently. Well, this would be a tributary of Gap Creek, the same creek that's down at the start. They talked about this waterfall down there, but it didn't direct you up here. But unless we could call this the, whatever it was, Bridal Veil or something or other. Actually, just dribbling, you couldn't even see it from back there. Still counts. It's like a mini cave. Whoa, I'm sliding. I just climbed that and it was slippery. I realised that track did sneak around here. The gnomes are all here. This one's awesome. Hello. Oh, I love that. It's not even a gnome. He's actually made of, I don't know. It's made of plasticky. I'm still smashing him, but see if we can climb up to that second level of the waterfall. It's a bit dodge. It might be a bit harder. Get up there with these shoes on right now. It should be called Gnome Falls. They should be advertising it actually with the Gnome Cave. But I guess because it's never flowing that much, it's not very impressive for them. Someone is a fanatic. The sheer volume of these, I can't even count them. So I don't know if anyone's done a cruise before. People normally bring these little plastic, tiny little ducks. They hide the ducks all over the cruise. People find them and trade them and whatever. Right now, this feels like a duck thing. The gnomes. Imagine if everyone started bringing gnomes for every waterfall everywhere. That'd be nuts. Look at this, man. This is like a whole carload. It's like you need 14 wheelbarrows to get it in here. That's wild. I've never seen anything like it. Some of them are very tired. They've fallen over. They need a nap. They've been standing for a long time. Whatever animals come here and go, what the hell, man? Like a fox is like, really? You put all this crap in my house. It's just wild. Interesting. Oh, I'm going up on the dodgy edge. I don't know why, just for the sake of it. Okay. Alright, back we go, people. Had enough gnome fun. What's this thing? Okay. Maybe just bring garden ornaments. Let's get a shot. I'm going to get a photo of me of all these gnomes. How cool is that one born to barbecue? It's a shame his arm is broken. Alright, well, heading back out. Should be out within, say, 20 to 30 at the most. Yeah. See once we get down to the bottom here. This track would be getting pretty muddy in summer. It's already pretty damp now. It's so shaded. That was even quicker than I thought. It's about 5 minutes back to the car, not 20. There you have it, people. come check it out. Taylorspeak. Hope you enjoyed this journey. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe for me if you haven't already. Hit notification bells, get notified of all the new misadventures. Catch you guys in the next one, eh? Peace out.